that trend continues, the likes of Peke in there, you'd possibly expect Twisted Fate to go at some point in this one. Nick will, I'd imagine, be getting some bans his way, and it is Twisted Fate, the second choice out here for Gambit.
So the same 2 bans from Gambit as they did yesterday against Alliance. Then they actually banned Lee Sin as the last one. Could target towards Cyanide, but he wasn't actually too impressive on Lee Sin yesterday, so might leave it open.
Let's have a look then. Fnatic taking their time here for ban number 2. If we look what was banned yesterday, Alliance banned out Kassadin, Eve and Elise. And that's looking like it could be the case here again today. Maybe trying to get Diamond off his game somewhat. Final ban will actually be Morgana, so not wanting that to go into the hands of YellOwStaR or possibly even xPeke. We've seen Overpower run mid lane Morgana here once today. Final ban actually though out is going to be Ziggs.
I'm not sure why teams keep banning Morgana against YellOwStaR. He has shown he can play so many different supports. Yeah. And yet you use a ban on his Morgana here, which has not even been his most impressive support, so a bit weird. Did mean, however, Gragas was left open now first pick by Gambit, not doing the same mistake we saw sOAZ do in the last game and let Gambit go over to the red side team. sOAZ, however, is a guy who's played Yorick. He's the only guy who actually won on top lane Yorick, and we could potentially see it. Matchup-wise, it's okay against Gragas. Didn't work for Kubon yesterday, but normally, once we've seen it in the past, it actually worked pretty well against Gragas.
So it's not going to be Vayne here today then, but it will be Lucian and Thresh taken. And as you rightly mentioned, he's banning Morgana, and he just says, right, Morgana ban, fair enough, I'll pick Thresh. We've seen the last 2, 3, 4 weeks, YellOwStaR has been so incredibly good with Thresh.
It is so weird. Teams keep giving him Thresh here. I'm not sure if Gambit wanted to first pick it or was maybe an idea if Gragas had been banned and get it over to Edward while banning Morgana and try and put YellOwStaR on something else. But with Gragas being open, of course, they wanted to first pick it in. This gives the most standard and the best bot lane possible for Fnatic, and a bot lane they've played so many times. Rekkles, big fan of Ghostblade and Blazer Druid King on Lucian, sorry. And just be really strong in the mid game, get Infinity as the first item, and then start scaling into the late game as well. And it's basically a dual lane where they've won so many games already on.
So for Gambit then, going to be taking Xerath here, newer champion that we're seeing played so much more often. We heard Frogon's opinion on it just a few moments ago, and Nami picked up there as well for Edward. That's a repeat pick for him. Actually did play Nami yesterday in their loss against Alliance. Now, Zed. Champion, we've just seen assassins fall off completely with the power that is exhaust these days.
Yeah, exhaust and changes to Zed as well. Early on really means he's no longer considered a very strong pick. Fizz is the new assassin type, but he's been banned away in a lot of the games. And we're gonna see the same matchup. We saw it yesterday, we saw it in the last game, Orianna against Xerath. It is a farm lane. Orianna often wins it early on, but then goes even unless Orianna can go in and take the Wraves and therefore make your own jungler weaker. But if you can farm the Wraves, you're going to be fine. You're going to keep your CS lead. Otherwise, we often see them even out a little bit later in the stages.
Well, I mean, Cyanide is the kind of jungler that's quite happy to give up constant rage.
Well, we don't know if he's happy.
Well, he just does it, then, let's put it that way. You know, yesterday, if you look at the game, brilliant one-sided victory for Fnatic. Cyanide died 6 times, but picked up 12 assists on his way through. Not scared of dying a few times. Let's have a look what Gambit... Whoa!
Whoa! Okay. Rammus. Haven't seen this in a long time. If this
Please pick Gangplank. Rammus Gangplank so awesome. Is
old school, man.
1 year or what?
We are old school style. Cyanide used to actually play a lot of Gangplank jungle, so could be an option. I don't think so. Lee Sin Elise is open, so 2 very good jungle picks for him. I don't recall seeing a Rammus in a long time.
I can't remember specifically when. I've got a feeling it's been played sometime recently, though. I seem to remember seeing Rammus.
In ARAM, maybe?
No.
Oh, could be.
I think...
I don't recall seeing it in competitive.
I don't know.
You might be right.
Oh, Maokai, though. Going to be the pick here for Fnatic. So he says, right, Diamond, you're going to bring Rammus to the table, and I'll bring Maokai in there. Rammus definitely something new here in the LCS. Maokai, of course, we've not seen him for a long time. However, had a few changes that may impact that decision.
So 4.10, Maokai had some changes, and His ulti, the biggest change is the fact his ulti will now follow him around.
Yeah.
So normally, or before, you would just place it on the ground and people would run out of it and you wouldn't really get anything from it. Now it actually follows you around here and you keep getting the damage reduction from it, which is very strong in these team fights. And at the same time, some other changes like your sapling toss now have 50% slow if it explodes for 1 second on you. Your
and
W
has movement speed as well.
Extra movement speed, of course. It actually scales with your own movement speed now. And your W, shorter range than before, which means a little bit harder to gank, but will do % magic damage, so it's better in the late game to as like an upfront instant burst.
Well, Fnatic versus Gambit, and we get some interesting champions coming through. And with them locked in, do you still think that Fnatic deserve 89% of the vote for this match? Tweet at LOLEsports with hashtag GMB win, or hashtag FNC win, or hashtag Rammus wins, and we'll check the results in game.
So really want to see what Diamond is going to do on this Rammus here. If he's just going to sit and try and camp the mid lane, you land a stun from Nick, he comes in with the taunt or the other way around, and you just chain CC someone like xPeke and just blow him up as fast as you can. Or if he's looking to get very strong first by farming a lot of the jungle and focus on the team fights. But I would expect to see him be very aggressive in the early game and trying to snowball all his lanes with this Rammus.
Well, we know Diamond as a player who says, you know what, I'm just going to pick Volibear. Let's have Volibear. Let's have Nasus in there. Rammus it is today. We're going to find out. It's our final match of the LCS here for week 9. It's an old classic as well. Gambit versus Fnatic, although Gambit, not the same Gambit that we remember. Fnatic obviously have a very, very strong run right now. And just to kind of bring this story in line with previous Fnatic versus Gambit games, let's all think back to the time in the last split where Fnatic were on a 7-game winning streak. It was ended by Gambit. So they got a chance to repeat that here.
Got a chance to repeat it here. We have 2 good early aggressive junglers when it comes to ganks, but not exactly junglers if they face each other who just blows each other up. Looking for some more long, drawn-out, small fights, but some very good ganks, a lot of CC from both of them. And it is actually Fnatic moving in here. Already a ward from Gambit to spot them. And Fnatic quickly backs away, then maybe they stay, maybe they back away.
It's been such a long time since we've seen Rammus coming out. So long, in fact, that I think people forgot that Rammus
it could have been in LPL.
Somewhat existed. Yeah, it could have been in LPL or GPL even.
Yeah,
there's some crazy picks over there, that's for sure.
We had a Sejuani jungle today, I believe.
Oh.
Not a thing we have seen for a long time either. Diamond on this Rammus here. There's a lot of CC. Him, Nick, and Edward can really lock down a target for a long, long time. Buying time then for Kubon and Genja to land all the poke. Gambit kind of with the same style as we saw Alliance play the last 2 games with Gragas top lane, Xerath in the mid lane for poke, Genja. Instead of Corki, you have the Caitlyn now. Work in that case in the same deal with a lot of long range poke here. A bit weaker in the mid game, however. With the Caitlyn, you really want to get to your late game point before you can start killing people by Corki, of course. It's very, very strong in the mid game, so that's a small difference. Otherwise, a lot of siege potential from Gambit. And then Diamond just rolling around looking for kills here in this early game.
I think we can talk a little bit about Rammus and tell you exactly what Diamond's doing. He went defensive ball curl first, which if you're not familiar, gives you extra armor, magic resistant. Maybe more importantly, returns damage onto those creeps that are going to be attacking you. And of course, just as he hits level 2, put in a point in his Q in the Powerball. That makes him so quick rolling around the map and gives him that little knockback stun when he actually lands it onto, well, either a champion or minions, which happens a lot of the time as well.
True, and needs his taunt the E before he can actually really start ganking. Same can be said about Cyanide up here. Want to get his level 3 point as well, so he has all his abilities ready. You have the slows, you have the W as well to snare target. And I want to see how he wants to play the ganks, because some of the junglers I've talked with here in Europe don't really like Maokai because his W was changed, so the range is now shorter, making it harder to actually set up the gank unless you have your flash ready. I want to see how he plays it. You can still flash once he goes towards you and drag him into your own tower, but he doesn't have the same startup animation anymore as he used to do. So it's a little bit faster than before once he actually clicks onto you.
Well, this mid lane has become somewhat of a standard. Orianna versus Xerath. We've seen a lot of Syndra as well into that mix, but another repeat of the Orianna Xerath match, which we actually saw in our last game as well. So see this time how it goes. Obviously xPeke up there with the likes of Froggen as the meanest farming machines around. We'll see them moving back, taking their Wraith camp, taking the enemy Wraith camps as well. Up until now, even lane on the farm.
We used to see Maokai with these farm-heavy mid laners, and he would give up the jungle camp, the Wraith camps, maybe even the Wolf camps, but this was all the way back in Season 2 when you had gold for 10 items on Maokai. You don't have it anymore, so you need to farm the jungle to get enough gold to become tanky, because once you go in with your W into a team fight, you're not getting out again. The point is you're staying in the middle with your ulti and absorb as much damage as possible. So you need farm, you need gold to get some tanky items. So if he gives every single Wraith camp over to xPeke, you might see a very squishy Cyanide.
We'll see as well if Cyanide ends up going into boots of mobility as we're maybe expecting here with that change to saplings that take your own movement speed to scale up there. Obviously makes them pretty much impossible to run away from, especially for someone like Xerath in the mid lane who's now pretty slow himself. And here is Diamond playing Rammus for the first time in the European LCS. We're going to see if he gets involved now. Actually, Cyanide has read him as well, so both junglers on the top side of the map. Cyanide will be spotted here by Diamond. Just going to wait inside of the brush. There's the Powerball rolling in, and Cyanide actually going to go in for it here. See if Diamond can actually get that taunt down onto anyone. Will be sOAZ that they decide to pull in, but Kubon taking a lot of damage. sOAZ going to jump onto him here. Flash use as well. Powerball still might come down. He's managed to get a blood off one. Cyanide's gone a little bit too deep here as well. Diamond going through. They're both low. Diamond gets first blood on Rammus here in the LCS. What a... Well, I just didn't expect that to ever be saying that here.
So, Diamond, he was waiting for Cyanide to move in, got some damage up front at first, and actually forced Cyanide to back away. And sOAZ, he stayed in, he kept fighting against two members from Gambit. And Cyanide, he didn't know what to do. He kept walking back and forth. In the end, he actually flashed in to try and kill Kubon, but he's already gone. And just end up having to back away and leave sOAZ by himself to die against Diamond here. Very, very tanky already. Due to his W giving him so much armor and magic resist, which is normally the one. Actually, no, he's probably gonna max his E if he's looking for the ganks here, but W, at least get 1 or 2 ranks, get 2 ranks in it early on, was the normal thing. It's a long time ago since we've seen Rammus, so excuse me if I'm wrong. But I do seem to recall, you got a few early levels in your W to get some tankiness, and then you maxed up the E afterwards.
Well, Deficio, I'm happy to tell you that you're wrong.
Oh, sad.
3 points in Powerball. Curiously.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 3 points in Powerball.
Must be for jungle clear then.
1 in his W, 1 in his E as well. So, just to keep track of how he's actually building that.
That was very wrong.
Just a little bit. It doesn't matter. It is, I mean, rightly so. We've not seen Rammus in such a long time. In fact, we also see here triple Doran's Blade for sOAZ after dying and giving up that first blood. Comes back in with a lot more health, a bit more damage, some lifesteal to help him out survive that lane as well. And we'll see how he plays that one, how aggressive he's going to be. We see that Kubon, now he got an assist in there, was able to pick up both the health and mana crystals, obviously working up to an early as possible Rod of Ages.
And this Gragas pick is so good in the laning phase. So sOAZ, as you just pointed out, forced to go to a lot of Thorns. Gonna delay his Blade if he wants it as the first item, or a tanky item like Sunfire or Brandon's Omen if he wants it as his first item. He is against double AP, so we could see him go for some early magic resist as well. A lot of options here from sOAZ. Normally, Aatrox in Europe, we see Blade of the Ruin King as the first item, and you try and focus on being able to one-on-one and farm in your lane for as long as possible. Diamond will give over the blue buff to Nick. It's actually falling slightly behind to Orianna. It's the thing we talk about, how Orianna often does really well early on in the lane, gets a lot of farm, and then focus on taking Wraith camps. And as long as he can get the Wraith camps, he will keep his lead, maybe even extend it. While Nick will just try and get the farm he actually can. Fnatic starting the Dragon. Edward is recalling here. There's no ward from Gambit, so not really reacting to this one.
No, not at all. Xerath is level 7 though, so could try and throw down the ultimate here. Puts in a ward, actually going to spot them doing that one. Decides not to try it, and there is the Dragon going over to Cyanide. First one of the game. Diamond did try and come in there, was a little bit late, and if we look at his movement speed, it's up to 677, I think there was the high point of that Powerball in with mobility boots.
It is way too easy for Fnatic to take this Dragon. I mean, Genja and Edward, they were still in the lane down this bottom side. Edward was starting to recall, but he cancelled it. And Nick was back in the mid lane, yet nobody moved to actually stop Fnatic from taking a Dragon, with 4 members being around. So a bit too easy for Fnatic. to take the first dragon, but let's see what Diamond wants to do here. If he charges up with the Powerball, he might be able to surprise him, even though there are wards.
Yeah, well, 700 movement speed.
Very smart. He disables the ward with his sweeping lens and going in.
Oh, that's going to be a good pace. Actually, the bubble missing. That's a good playback from YellOwStaR. Actually, almost landed the hook onto Edward as well. See Diamond's second big gank here with Rammus. Not quite able to get in there and get the finisher. Good work, though, disabling that ward.
A very, very smart move. Forced at least a flash away from YellOwStaR. Edward flashed tried to bubble, actually. Didn't work for him. Lovely Nami voice. Both Genja and Edward actually looking okay in this lane here. They've had some issues in the past.
Yeah.
Especially in the early game where they often look for very aggressive trades and have gone wrong for them. With Nami, with the sustain, and you have Caitlyn, the very safe AD carry. They've been able to actually get a small CS lead. And Diamond looking for xPeke here. Remember, xPeke did actually get cleansed this game in case he does get taunted or stunned by Nick.
Yeah, probably going to need it there. Cyanide going to get a barrel rolled his way by Kubon. Good idea from Kubon. And yeah, 44 to 28 CS, just showing you Diamond really zipping around the map and doing a good job of that one. You can pick up Kindle Gem there, along with the ability boost in that Wilco. And this bottom lane, despite that one single roll-in and denial really from YellOwStaR, not too much action down there. However, Genja is farming nicely here, using that range that Caitlyn has. Got a double Doran's Blade. Boots for him now as well. This Diamond going to get hit by the sapling and sees a ward as well. Pink ward clear out for him. I'll give them back a bit of vision control on that top side of the jungle and allow him to roll around. However, Cyanide using that one to get some vision of his own down on the red buff side of Gambit's jungle.
And the first time Rekkles actually doesn't build Blade the Rune King as his first item on Lucian, looking to go towards his Infinity Edge. Sadly didn't have enough gold on his first back to get a BF sword, so was forced to now pick up the pickaxe, and Genja could get his BF sword on the first one here because Diamond came down for the gank and forced him back. So slight advantage now for Gambit's bot lane, and can look to try and trade as effective as possible with someone like Rekkles and try and maybe force the tower down. Oh, didn't stop him.
Well, that auto attack's going all the way back to base.
And now he got the BF sword, so can return and now actually be stronger.
Yeah, took him 2 trips to get there, but better now than never. We see Rammus actually deciding not to come in this time. Kubon actually, whoa, that was not a good barrel. Actually, they're going to wait here because Cyanide is going to be coming in. He's going to go straight on towards Kubon, who's going down. Peke will pick up that kill. They're going to keep going here. Not sure they've got what it takes to take down Nick. And there is Diamond meeting YellOwStaR. Hook comes out, goes wide though, and a good bubble onto sOAZ as well. Will stop yeah, onto sOAZ. We'll stop sOAZ getting involved in that bottom lane.
Such a misplay in the mid lane here from Kubon. He flashed in, and xPeke didn't actually move back as Kubon expected, so he completely missed the ult, ended up blowing the flash and everything. Sana joined in, and then Kubon was just an easy kill for Fnatic here. So very, very poor decision by Kubon, or poorly played, we probably have to say.
Yeah. Unfortunate though for him. That actually brings us back to 1-1 in the kills. We also saw again how really strong Thresh can be against Rammus. That play every single time that he comes anywhere near him. So as he's going to go at it, and actually sOAZ popping his ultimate, going to try and force Kubon completely out of the lane and may even be able to get a kill. There's no flash there for Kubon. sOAZ does have a flash but decides not to go under the tower.
One of the strong things about Gragas top lane is even without your flash, you still have the body slam to get out of sticky situations, like here where sOAZ jumped onto Kubon and just forced him back, leaving out the farm here. There's no teleport on Kubon either, so we'll lose this massive wave over in the top lane once sOAZ actually push it down to the tower. Maybe he can even take the tower.
Yeah, that's definitely possible here.
Oh, Nick's gonna try and clear it? Never mind.
No tower being taken in this game as of yet. Peke though is still farming up the storm. 158 CS in 13 minutes, so on track to, I don't know, maybe smash some records. We'll have to see. There's the vote again. Has changed somewhat, so 10% for Rammus, basically.
100% for Rammus, and did get a good start. First blood for Diamond, and actually a very good gank up in the top lane, and wanted 2v2 against sOAZ and Cyanide, but Orianna is going to be an issue in this mid lane here, and the fact that now There's still no summoners on Kubon, so he could be a target for someone like Cyanide if they want to try and kill him, because Aatrox is probably the best top laner at diving due to his passive, and they could try and go towards him if they know where Diamond is.
Okay, yeah. Just gonna sidestep the tidal wave. Almost timing out in range there, and Edward. First little roam towards that mid lane. Not being as productive as sort of maybe wanted it to be. Diamond is still going about his jungle way. Got a 20 CS lead over that of Cyanide, so should give you some indication of how much time between them they've spent there in the jungle. Meanwhile, we do see Fnatic starting off the dragon. We do have a ward in the back of the pit though, so Gambit have seen it. Rammus is gonna be rolling on round here anytime now. Oh, sOAZ and Kubon again having a bit of an altercation. Kubon going back in. We'll see if he can actually get that Bloodwell popped. He's gonna take a lot of damage, and Bloodwell up. Tower's almost going down. Kubon needs to get away. There is his ultimate use. Meanwhile, Diamond going in. Peke already got one of them very low. Good flash over the back. YellOwStaR tried to hook him in. In the end, Kubon survives up top. No deaths here, although very low HP around Dragon, which means Fnatic no kills, but they get the second Dragon of the game.
A bit like with the very first Dragon, Gambit, they have 4 members near the Dragon to move in and stop Fnatic from starting it, but they're just way too late to react, so Fnatic could group up all 4 members and just wait for Gambit to come in. Split around, we have 2 members coming from the top side, we had 2 members coming from the bottom side, and it was easy for Fnatic to just target Diamond and Nick and force them away and now pick up the second Dragon. And once again, with both Edward and Genja being in the lane at the time it actually happens.
Pink one from Diamond here, but obviously will be spotted out, so does still sit at 1-0-0. He's actually bought Home Guards. You know, decent investment, Home Guards, 475 gold, if my mind serves me correctly there. Either way, it's a decent chunk of gold. Obviously wants to come literally speeding at about, I don't know, 800 movements.
It's back to farming, yeah.
Ridiculous. And get back in the jungle, get farming again. Still holding a 20 CS lead over that of Cyanide.
As you just pointed out earlier in the game, Max's Q, that's the first thing, simply just to get as much damage as possible as well and try and clear the camps as fast as he can. Very even in gold because there was 2 dragons and now a tower as well for Fnatic, so in that case it doesn't even matter for them that Cyanide is actually behind in farm. And it's been too easy, honestly, again. It's been too easy for Fnatic to get the 2 dragons.
Yeah.
No real contest or fight again.
See, you know, the comparison to that number that we were talking about early on, 5,400 gold on average they've been behind at the 20-minute mark. We're at 16 minutes in now, and yeah, 3,000 gold is the difference. So not maybe as major as some of those other games where they've been a lot further behind. So I've actually stood on top of a ward here, and he's careful because Diamond is going to come rolling on through. Good slow will come onto him. Will he? No, he won't flash because he doesn't have flash available, and sOAZ is able to just walk away from that one.
So walks away still. Diamond, every time he's close to a lane, he will force people back in. No flash was used by sOAZ, he didn't have to use it. Landed a good slow, but still a lot of pressure from this Rammus. And xPeke even getting Nick's Wraith Camp here, so just keeps farming. Very far ahead in farming. Again, remember some of it is the small Wraiths, which only gives 5 gold, but still counts in the long run.
Yeah, bit of an exchange in that lane as we've come to expect from Orianna versus Xerath without jungle attention. Oh, there we go. Lantern actually coming in. That is a top quality bubble coming out of Edward. Will stop that gang completely in his tracks.
Beautiful timing. Both him and Genja been looking solid down this bottom lane, just farming away here. Nobody was actually ever close to dying. I don't think they've been trading too much, just focusing on farm. It is in favor of Genja. I'm just gonna point it out because there's always people who wants to remind you and say, oh, remember Relic Shield, blah, blah, blah. Relic Shield is, you can see the same CS. If you get it with your 80 carry, it goes on to 80 carry as well. So it's 162 CS for Rekkles. You don't have to combine the Relic Shield once as well. I think it was back in 4.2 or something it was changed. So you now see them together.
Yeah, makes our job easy. We just don't have to count double.
I still have to answer people after every game there's a Relic Shield. Remind them. Don't worry, we know.
It's working out. I don't know. Rekkles. You see sOAZ and Kubon going head-to-head again. Where is the pop of that Bloodwell? Actually, sOAZ is stealing all that health back, and there it is finally going down. He's going to come up with about a quarter of his health. There was Nick trying to snipe him off. Didn't work. YellOwStaR might be in trouble here. Double stun coming in. Taunt ultimate out of Rammus, but there's the box, and that now leaves Diamond in trouble as well. At the backside, he's got 3 men from Fnatic on top of him, and he's going to go down. Peke gets that one. Shockwave onto Nick. Rest of Gambit going to come in. Cyanide's gone real deep, but Nick goes down. Tidal Wave will stop them chasing for now, but here comes sOAZ. Good flash from Eddie, but the slows continue to pile up, and he's going down as well. 3 for nothing. Mid tower, possibly top tower as well. Huge win for Fnatic there.
And Nick, he couldn't kill YellOwStaR because he already wasted the ult. He wanted to try and use it on sOAZ, but he was out of range, and then once YellOwStaR showed up, no ulti left on Nick, not enough damage to actually kill him. Rest of Fnatic joined in, picked up now 2 towers and some kills. And while we're not at the 20-minute mark yet, we are now above the 5,400 gold, which on average Gambit is behind with their, or since their roster changes.
Looks like it could be even more this time around if things continue to go like this. Fnatic actually recalling. We've got 120 until the next dragon of the game comes up. Fnatic basically being gifted the first 2 that they've gone for here. So we'll have to see if this time around Gambit are going to go for it, are going to try and get in there and stop that one from happening so easily, or whether Fnatic are just going to extend their gold lead with another objective picked up. Let's have a look down some items here, because some big ones started to come through. Death Cap for Peke's Orianna. Look down the AD carries, both got Infinity Edge, but Seal is the extra bonus that Rekkles has. And if you look at the gold between them, actually it's pretty much 1,000 that Rekkles is ahead. Big differences in the middle lane, actually. 9,000 gold for Peke for the 6,000 of Nick. That is really, really bad for Gambit.
Towers, dragons, and then all the farm he's been able to pick up. Same story for Orianna as we often see again in Europe. He's getting so much farm, and Edward, you're in trouble. Rekkles picks up another kill. Yeah. Or the first kill for him, actually.
Yeah, first kill. 5th one of the game for Fnatic overall, and they're going to try and dive Genja here, I think. Diamond going in for sOAZ now. Genja should be safe from this one. YellOwStar still going to try for the hook. Nice sidestep from Genja, though. Tower will go down, though, I think, here. Oh, sOAZ now going to be rolled onto. He's already done a lot of damage to Kubon. Here comes Peke from the side. Diamond going to taunt in Peke. Nick will join in as well, but he's knocked him away from Nick's damage. Oh, great flash away from the shockwave. Kubon actually is going to be falling here, but now sOAZ going to be chased by 2 men. Diamond once again will get in. Where is the taunt going to come down from? I think sOAZ might be able to get Diamond. No, it's stunned from Nick. Will get Nick a kill. 2nd one of the game. In the meantime, Fnatic taking a free dragon.
All right, so dragon for Fnatic here, but still 2 kills for Nick. Very important for Gambit to get him rolling, get him into his late game point where he will be so strong. He can wave clear for days. He has so much poke. And this dragon was probably gone anyway because Edward went down. And Fnatic was already in a good position to take it after they killed the bot tower. So at least they got 2 kills for Nick, but lost some more gold with towers. Dragon again, I mean, almost above actually, 8,000 gold behind.
Yeah. Well above that 5,400 gold average that we were talking about earlier, so not looking good for Gambit. And let's not forget Fnatic here, looking for an 8-win streak. Their last big streak was 7 wins, which Gambit ended in the spring split. And, well, the fact is that when they lost that, they ended up losing 8 or 7 more games in a row, ended up losing 8 on the bounce, which Fnatic, well, at this stage of the season, you definitely can't afford losing 8 games in a row, that's for sure.
Especially because once they actually started losing the games, they all went out and said, we don't even know what's going on here. I mean, it's very hard for us to look and find the exact mistake. So it was very hard for them to actually fix it, therefore they ended up losing so many games in a row. So now they're looking very good though, and this game has been looking very good the last 2 weeks. Because
while we're talking about streaks, I mean, we talk obviously about the positive one, Fnatic 7 wins in a row. We should also talk about Gambit's losing streak because they've lost 8 games. 8 games in a row. That is, well, if you're a Gambit fan, if you're a Gambit player, maybe even more importantly, that is just not the position you want to be in. They have to start picking up some wins here, you know, going towards what looks like, unfortunately for them, is a possible place in that promotion tournament. We'll have to see though how that season develops for them. Diamond there once again. Let's talk about Rammus here, because a new pick out, something that we always love to see from the innovative jungle master Diamond itself.
Working. It's been working okay. To be honest, I mean 103 CS here, 1 kill, 2 assists, and looking to come even more tanky with, again, remember Spirit of the Ancient Golem, you get 25% bonus HP, so in the late game, once you have more tank items, you will be very, very tanky. Right now, however, he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's dead, in fact. Well, YellOwStaR hooked the minion in there, but was able to follow through, got the box down, got himself a flare. I think Fnatic are thinking about Baron now. They've just taken out the jungler. No smite available for Fnatic. And at 23:45, Fnatic starting off Baron. And I believe that they should get this one before Gambit come across. It's going to be up to Nick to snipe down with his ultimate here if they want to be able to pick it up. They don't. Fnatic get Baron.
Baron for Fnatic here. Gambit is still staying around now to actually spot them with the ward and just runs away here, but killing Diamond 24 minutes in, the rest of Gambit is completely out of position. Nobody even moving towards the Baron to try and stop Fnatic. And just another kill, another objective. Wow. Even more gold here, and Diamond might be looking for something.
Well, he's definitely quick out of base with Home Guards on, that's for sure. But what is he able to bring them? 33 CS, he's got advantage over Cyanide, but you can argue all day long, has Cyanide had a bigger impact? You look at the scoreboard at least, 1-2-2 for Diamond, 4 assists only to the name of Cyanide. And I think it's hard to really judge a pick, something like Rammus, when your team is in a massive slump, is on a losing streak of 8 games up until now. It needs to be, I think, a bigger sampler size than a single game against Fnatic, who are the informed team right now.
Yeah, very true, and also want to see it in different comps before you can really judge the champion here. Not a lot of synergy between the champions, unless you maybe want to look at Nick and Diamond in case you can change some CC here. They don't really have anyone to speed up the Rammus. I mean, I've seen Cillian Rammus before, and you're very fast and you can engage. Nami's passive doesn't really do enough for Rammus to count in there, so I want to see it with some different champions, and then we can actually see how it works. In this game, I still feel like it's been an okay pick, actually. He's been farming well, had some good early ganks, forced a flash down the bottom lane as well from YellOwStaR, but then the rest of Fnatic have just been doing whatever they actually want to do.
Yeah. I think that's the problem here, that there's been such a free time across the map. I mean, you see Rekkles only 20 CS ahead, but it's a lead nonetheless. Mid lane is a massive, massive lead for Peke, as we expect on Orianna. You see now sOAZ just hammering away on that bottom inner turret. Kubon not really able to stop him whatsoever, was even taking the damage outside of turret range, and that's going to be Fnatic bullying them out of another one. 6-0 up in turrets. And that might not be the last one. Good bubble onto YellOwStaR, but I think Fnatic are going to force their way through here.
With the Orianna farm you just talked about, we of course have to remember xPeke took the Wraith Camp, therefore less farm for Cyanide, while Nick didn't take the Wraith Camp for Gambit, and therefore more farm for Diamond. So just a different style of who you want to get the gold from the Wraith Camp here. Is it your mid laner or your jungler? For Gambit it was the jungler, for Fnatic it was the mid laner. Also because Orianna is so good at taking the Wraith Camp, which is the thing Brogan actually talked about in the game before, which is why it's very hard for Xerath to play against Orianna as well, because he can't do the same thing as xPeke.
So just to update you guys on how Diamond has skilled this Rammus. 5 points he put initially towards the Q, max that first, then max his E, and then he'll be working on obviously his W finally. So I suppose that you want to have a bit of a try with Rammus in solo queue. So Diamond is building him, certainly today. So split push. And the other thing in this game for Rammus as well, it's all well and good having 5 million movement speed, but you've got the box that goes down. He's slow out of Orianna, out of, well, pretty much out of everyone really. That's a real issue for him, and that's Fnatic here just working their way straight through and surely going to be able to take this turret out. Making actually tanking up a couple of hits. Man Protect giving him a little bit of safety from that, but playing the split push game here to get in and take down those in turrets. The middle one will finally go down here. Final hit from Rekkles will do that.
Pushing in for inhibitor now, forcing Gambit to either engage onto them or just give up the inhibitor for free, and then they might just walk down to this bottom lane where another wave is coming in. For Fnatic, they don't actually have to teamfight at the moment. They can just take inhibitor, go down to bot lane, try and do the same thing, and wait for super minions. so early in the game, it's very hard for Gambit to actually clear 2 waves of super minions. Seems for now Fnatic have a lot of gold and will just back away. And spend it. Let's see what they're gonna buy. So far hitting items. After another dragon as well now for.
Yeah, there's gonna be some big items coming out. sOAZ already going back there for Randuin's Omen. Spectre's Cowl for xPeke, so he's gonna get a little bit more defensive. We see the recall. I mean, Rekkles got 2,000 gold to spend. xPeke gonna come out of their base there with another blasting wand as well. They are so ridiculously far ahead here. 14,000 gold. 28 minutes into it, and looking like we're gonna see Fnatic move up to an 8-win spree, and Gambit drop down to a 9-loss spree, which is really not what they need right now. Moving towards, well, I want to say moving towards Worlds, but honestly, the way that it's looking right now, form-wise for Gambit, they're going to have to be worrying about securing their spot for next year.
Yeah, it should be the only thing they focus on at the moment, because with the last spot in the league, they don't have a choice of which team they want to play in relegation, which means they might end up, I mean, if you look back to London, H2K was very strong, beat NIP 2-0, so could be their opponent. Or maybe they're going to face Alex and NIP in the relegation match.
That would be
a pretty strange thing to see Alex play against Gambit.
Yeah. I'll definitely be interested. But there's still more games to go. I mean, they're not out of it just yet. We said at the start of today's show that statistically, Gambit and the Copenhagen Wolves actually can't catch Fnatic or Alliance anymore. So can't get into those top 2 spots, which would be very, not just incredible, but I think highly unlikely either way for them to win every single game now, considering how these last few games have gone. sOAZ here going to dive onto Kubon once again. Good damage coming in. Banshees, Randuin's, Blade of the Rune King, and Fnatic here just going to get back to their split pushing ways with 4 men on the top lane. And sOAZ all on his own, down bottom. I think they're going to be doing enough here to force them out. There's the tidal wave actually going wide. Diamond going to flash into the middle of them, gets his ultimate in as well, but I think he's just dead. No one else from Gambit was even remotely near him.
No coordination once again. We so often see it. Oh, Kubon, you're hooked.
He's hooked in, and he's possibly going to go down there. The shockwave brings in a couple more for the taking in the end. Cyanide almost died himself. There's xPeke. sOAZ going in. Flash is going to have to be used from Genja, but this inhibitor is surely on its way down, and Fnatic may look to have a go at winning the game right here. YellOwStaR, though, going to be caught up by Xerath Sundin. Genja will get the final blow of that one. A good bubble from Eddie came out as well to hook a couple of them up, but nice 2 men down from Fnatic. Gambit going to be struggling to hold on to their base. Look at the Nexus towers, 1 down, 1 at less than half HP.
And Nick actually managed to kill Cyanide after the fight had ended with his ulti. So at least 2 kills for Gambit here. Holding their own base for now. 1 tower left, 2 inhibitors are gone. And Fnatic can just go back now, wait for Cyanide and YellOwStar's respawn, go for Baron, pick it up, and then walk down the base once again. And Gambit will need to try and do the same thing. Win a team fight, delay the game, and just really try and look for this late game point here, but they're gonna need a lot of items and a lot of time.
And a small miracle, I think, as well on top of all that. Fnatic has not been looking like a team who have any problems finishing off games. Generally don't make all that many mistakes, to be honest. As I say that, sOAZ here being somewhat caught out, but he's got a Randuin. He's going to jump, but he is going to have Diamond coming in here. Taunt will secure him here for a little while. Ultimate running as well, so there is the Bloodwell pop. Edward actually coming in as well. Will bubble straight on top of him. sOAZ goes down, and it's Diamond to pick up his 2nd kill here on Rammus.
And look here, the rest of Fnatic pushing down the base. Inhibitor is open, and everyone from Gambit is trying to recall and come back in time. This inhibitor is gone.
Yeah.
Still only 1 Nexus tower.
1 Nexus turret left in Gambit's base, and that's double super minions starting to stream in there. Gambit will be able to hold them back. Fnatic actually looking like they may be recalling somewhat. We have a lot of gold again for Fnatic. 2,500 for sOAZ to spend, 2,200 for xPeke, 1,700 for Rekkles as well. Diamond is going to come speeding out, and that's just to get himself the race.
Just wants to raise once again. Rest of Fnatic. Now they can just wait for sOAZ to respawn and walk down here and try and look for the last team fight. Gambit might try and set up a trap in their own jungle and hope someone from Fnatic face checks them and they can actually get a kill and then push Fnatic back. They have some good wards in the jungle to actually spot Fnatic moving around. But it's not like they have to move in the jungle. They can just walk down the bottom lane and wait for super minions to push in the other lanes.
Minions were coming down towards the steps in the top lane and actually sent Kubon back to secure them. And another dragon in 50 seconds. I don't think Fnatic even need to remotely wait around for that one. They're going to go for Rekkles. They're going to go for Rekkles. He's got his shield up. Diamond does get in there with the stun. Taunt will go in as well. Stun comes out from Nick and Rekkles. Is he going to go down? There's a protection from Orianna. He took the lantern. He managed to get away. And they get the shutdown on Nick. Diamond goes down as well. And would you believe it? Rekkles there with hardly any health. He punches the air in celebration there. YellOwStaR again coming up big to save his life. And Fnatic with those 2 kills, surely gonna win the game now.
Good guy YellOwStaR is always there to babysit Rekkles and make sure he doesn't get in too much trouble. And they can just finish the game here.
Yeah, using the shields, what they've gotten. That won't be a hard task to finish off this Nexus. So you see Kubon and Genja, last 2 men alive, are pretty much just waiting inside the base. sOAZ going forward. Oh, it's going to get knocked in. No, but well, Genja gets that kill. And that will be Fnatic here, finishing out the game, going 8 wins in a row. Gambit, though, their misery continues. That's the 9th match in a row they lose here in week 9.
It's very hard to talk about a game like this one because it just seemed too easy for Fnatic to pick up dragons in the start, get a goal lead. We saw a lot of misplays from Gambit. Kubon went into the mid lane trying to set up a kill on xPeke, missed everything, ended up dying to Cyanide who joined in. And Fnatic just played it very slow, didn't really have to take any chances, picked up the dragons, picked up the towers, got some good farm. xPeke farmed like a monster in the mid lane, of course, picked up 5 kills as well. And weird enough, we're just a better team.
We're the better team, and well, it's hard to really have seen this game going any other way. I keep mentioning those win and loss streaks that have been happening for both of these teams. And you know, it's the team with the worst form in the league against the team with the best form in the league. And you saw that quite plainly. It was almost 20,000 gold the difference. A similar number to what Gambit lost by yesterday when you looked at their goal totals by the end of it. You see somber faces all around, to be honest, for Gambit because, as I said, fighting for their future here, and it's not looking good.
They really have to just ignore the losses they have now and just think of it as practice. It's not LCS anymore, it's just a scrim, it's just practice. You can try some new picks. We saw Rammus here. Okay, worked out okay in the start, didn't end up doing anything in the end because they fell so far behind. But just go in and try and improve as much as possible. Don't care about winning or losing, doesn't matter anymore because you're not really fighting for anything except for maybe catching Copenhagen Wolves, who are now a few wins ahead of you, so you can choose an opponent. But if you can't even catch Copenhagen Wolves, ignore it, practice, try and find something that really works for you against the LCS teams and try and use it against the challenger team you're going to face in the promotion tournament, and then try and re-qualify for the LCS. And then you can start looking forward and start building, or look at the team and say, okay, do we need to make any changes? What's going on here? What can we actually do to make sure next split Gambit comes back as a strong team?
Well, that's the hard thing I think that Gambit have now. Do they practice against the challenger teams? Because a high likelihood is one of those challenger teams is going to be facing them by the end of it. I also want to talk about Diamond here for a little while, because obviously he's come back in for week 9 after being subbed out for week 8 for Lulex. Now, how have they improved this week at all, in your opinion?
So it's very hard to judge when you face Alliance and Fnatic, the two best teams. But looking at like team coordination, shot calling, no, it doesn't look like they've improved at all. They give away free dragons constantly, even though there are people around it to try and stop it. And as a team, it looks a lot like solo queue. You try and make your plays by yourself. You want to be the big star and just say, okay, can I do something here? Can I pick up a kill? Awesome, I got a kill for my team. Maybe we can try and snowball from it. Otherwise, it's too easy for the other teams to just